Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor at the Tenkar's Tavern blog. The artwork on the screen, that is from James Shields. That was to be the cover for Swords of Wizardry Continue Alike, the Digest Edition. I think the artwork is amazing, and I love this zoomed in frame because you get to see a paladin or a cleric in action and a fighter and a drag. You get to see a little bit of everything. And it makes me think of the role of characters in the OSR as opposed to 5e, right? Because in 5e, you've got this, generally speaking, this huge backstory explaining why you are, I don't know, the God's gift to the world and why you are important, and you're not going to die, right? You're going to achieve level 20 and all the world will be at your beck and call. And yet here are characters fighting undead and undead dragon. There's a thief in the lower part down here, I'm guessing. And they don't seem like they're overly equipped, right? They aren't like these 5e characters that are walking armories and, I don't know, displays for your local Walmart where you go and go, I'll take one of this and one of this. So when you look at a character sheet for the OSR, generally speaking, the sheet is much more simplified compared to a 5e sheet. Now, listen, there are exceptions. Adventurer Conqueror King system, Adventures Dark and Deep from Joe Block. They've got more details because that's the direction they went into. But as a general rule, exceptions are made to prove the rule. As a general rule, you can often just fill out your character for an OSR game on an index card. Or one side of a sheet of loose leaf paper. You don't need all these breakdowns and categories because you're not expected to be having a Christmas tree worth of equipment and abilities. Additionally, if these characters died during this encounter, I think they would die heroically, and that would be accepted. It'd be a disappointment, yes, you're attached to your characters died, but some of the best adventures I've ever run in the OSR are campaigns that ended with a damn near TPK. Now, I say damn near, well, because they were members of the party survived, and that survival was like, you know what, we're not going to end the campaign on a better note than where we've been at. And I think that often happens in the OSR, that campaigns reach that natural progression of this is the penultimate part of the campaign. We're not going to hit a higher note. Now it's the time to take our ball and retire. Whereas with the newer games, Pathfinder, 5e, D&D 2024, I'm pointing a finger at you. There's this expectation that you're going to get to name level, 12th level, 15th, 20th. You're planning things out in advance, whereas at the OSR, you're happy to get what you get. And again, the OSR, death is right there. It is not uncommon. As for your character's growth, in 5e, your character's growth and history is planned out, right? I still talk about this when I was running games at a game store. I was running Swords and Wizardry Light, but we had an open table because we were playing in public. And I had a, obviously, 5e player want to play in the game. And the unofficial general rule was anybody wants to join in, always got to give them a chance. And he sat down, and I said, what we're playing is Swords and Wizardry Light. It's like D&D, but much lighter, simpler, much less rules. All right, sounds great. I'm bringing in my 11th level halfling fighter with wings. I was like, dude, no, you're a first level character. Oh. Well, my background is and it starts telling me this long ass background. And no offense to 5e players, I've seen this happen at other 5e games. Nobody wants to know what your character did prior to adventuring, besides maybe one or two sentences. I was a farmer, I was a soldier, I was a hunter, I was a guardsman. That's great, that's your background. Your background is not going to decide how the present and future plays out. I've always found that the best backgrounds in OSR games, this goes back to when I was initially running games in the 80s and 90s, is stuff that emerged through gameplay. Your character's history was not necessarily preordained. It came up during the game. Just seemed to be more fun that way. I don't know. But there's a difference between old school and new school. Old school survival is often the reward. In new school, it is progressing up that preordained chart of I got to take this feat to make sure I can take the next feat, so I make sure I can get this feat so I can get this ability. It's all planned out. It's all planned out. That to me is not fun. What can I say? So, again, one of those biggest issues with characters is, in my opinion, the character death. Risk versus reward. If there is no risk, what is the reward? So, how does that risk versus reward affect your role playing, the games that you want to play in? Do you want to be in a game, in a campaign that has low risk and great rewards? Or do you want high risk and moderate rewards? I'm a give me high risk and moderate rewards, and I'll be happy as a pig in shit. Or moderate risk and low rewards. High rewards for no risk is literally what I tend to see when I read gameplay for 5e. And that's just not my type of game. But tell me, what is yours? What is your risk versus reward? What is how adverse are you to character death if the rewards are potentially great? Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, there's a live stream tonight at 8 p.m. So hopefully I'll see you all there. Sounds good. Be safe, be well, God bless, roll those dice, roll them well. TenkarsTavern.com for OSR Christmas. Free stuff, folks, free stuff. I'll catch you all later. Be good.